Well, let's get the elephant out of the room. Trimmed the beard, wearing a man bun, complain about it below. That being said, I just finished watching the 2008 film Ip Man. I like martial arts films. More specifically, I like Jackie Chan films. I think his elements of humor into the fight scenes make the whole movie more lighthearted and more fun for me to watch. But I really enjoyed the fight choreography in Ip Man. It's less funny and far more brutal. And reading about some of the on-set stories, like concussions and injuries and stuff, it's like, yeah, it was really, really brutal fighting that they actually did shooting this movie. But it comes across really well on screen, and it's really intense and engrossing to watch. For those who don't know, Ip Man follows the almost real-life story of Yip Man, who is the grandmaster of the Wing Chun style of martial arts. I think I'm saying that right. Let me check. I did. That was the third take. He's the grandmaster of this style of martial art. He was Bruce Lee's master. And he lives a sort of like a wealthy upper-class life in the Foshan province of China before the Japanese invaded in 1937, which is conflict that in America we don't talk about a lot during World War II because we're more concerned with, Pearl Harbor on that front, but besides the point. When the Japanese invade, he kind of loses all of his status, he loses all of his money, and he ends up working at a coal mine, just shoveling coal, and he sort of unites the people of his province that are now under this Japanese rule by fighting Japanese martial artists with his style, and he beats up 10 of them in one scene at once in one scene in front of this general who impresses the general, and the movie ends with them having a final fight, and he beats the general and escapes with his his wife and son, and uniting China. It's basically the Rocky IV of martial arts movies. Very entertaining movie. I really enjoyed it. The fight scene I alluded to before, where he fights 10 men, I had seen before. Somebody showed me a clip of it on YouTube once, and I thought, wow, that is a crazy fight scene. But I did not know that all the emotional build-up that goes into that fight scene in the movie, and seeing it again, I was almost in tears and so invested in the film by that point that it was a completely different experience for me seeing it as a whole. So if you're like me and you've seen scenes from this movie, see it as a whole because it really ties everything together. Just how emotional he is, because that's the only time he gets emotional. Or the first time he gets emotional. He has 2 or 3 fights before that point, and he's very calm and collected and really zen, and then he goes and he finds out about the death of one of his friends at the hands of the Japanese, and he just goes in, he's like, give me 10, let's go, let's go, and I probably kills at least 3 of them. It was still a really intense scene. I did, however, notice that scene happens at that 60-minute mark, which, when I watch foreign films, and this was a Chinese film, I like to see the different filmmaking styles. I like to see how they structure their movies and how they, what lens they view certain world events through. And while I kind of got that with the Chinese view of World War II in here, it felt like a very Western, very American style of film. The 60-minute point is where something big has to happen, and that's right where that 10-man fight is. And the fact that I was able to allude this movie to Rocky IV meant it was kind of really structured, and I kind of knew what was going to happen before it happened, just because I've seen a lot of movies, and a lot of movies have done very similar structure. But other than that, most of the movies I watch are Westerns, so that shouldn't bother me at all. It was just a little bit of a letdown that I didn't get something a little bit different, but it was still incredible choreography. Totally worth checking out. For the choreography and the story is not bad. Like, I watched Rumble in the Bronx a little bit ago, and I believe I had said then that like the acting was meh and the story was meh, but the fights are cool, so watch it for the fights. The story was good. I liked the story, and the acting was great. I felt so invested in a few of the characters, and felt what they felt at times, which is what you want. It's what you want to happen as an audience. You want to feel what the characters are feeling. That's how you know a movie is working. And it works for me on that front. So yeah, I'd check it out. I want to thank, I wish I could remember, I think his name is Brennan. I probably got that wrong. It doesn't matter. He's probably not going to find this. He suggested this movie to me this morning on the way to the airport. And I'm glad he did, because I wouldn't have watched it otherwise, and it was a good couple hours spent in front of the TV. Come back to the channel tonight. That's tonight, Saturday the 12th, around 4:45 Pacific, so 7:45 Eastern. I'm going to be live streaming tonight's WWE Roadblock. So please join me for that. And I think that's the next thing I've got. Tomorrow I'm just going to talk about Roadblock and give my feelings on it after sleeping on it. But tonight, watch it live with me. Let's see if anything happens, which probably nothing will happen, but let's see. What? Good timing. See you there.